Anybody playing Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes? Like I put a couple hours into the demo and I
Yep.
shared my thoughts already. But anyone playing the full game?
Yeah, I'm playing it. Yeah. I was really surprised how much Fire Emblem Three Kingdoms or three whatever it
Three
was,
Houses.
Three Houses. This is because it is just that. Like you go back to your hometown or your castle or whatever, and you cook and chat with your buds, and that increases their mood. And there's all those mechanics made it over every single one of them. Even
So
if
cool.
you and this is actually a harder game. Like I actually had a character die and I reload. I've never had a character die in any Dynasty Warriors, maybe ever, not one time. And like very first couple levels like where they kind of take the training wheels off, had a character die and like they're dead, just like
Yeah,
in Fire Emblem.
because Fire Emblem kills
So
them.
I reloaded that bad boy back and had to do that whole level all over again, which again I did in Fire Emblem quite a bit. So it's like there's a lot of things that just feel like Fire Emblem, but it has that like Musou combat to it.
Can you change that setting for permanent death on this one? Like you
Yeah.
can.
Okay. Yeah, you can put it on easy or not classic, whatever the not classic mode is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man, I'm really enjoying it. I think I don't really, these Muso games that adopt themselves from like other properties. It's like they go out of their way to make sure that their story doesn't make sense. Like when I'm playing like Zelda, Breath of the Wild, Warriors or whatever. It's like, so I'm a time traveler. Like they took the hardest possible way to tell this story. You could just tell the same story. You don't have to like be cute with it or anything like that. And I feel like this does that a little bit. Like like the character moments make sense. Like we're sharing this moment together. I understand what your goals are and how that reflects and everything like that. But when things start unfolding, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So so that's still kind of an issue and stuff like that, but I feel like the character moments are still like very much intact, and it's driving me through to like get back to the home base and be like, oh yeah, I gotta go talk to everybody now, and I got to train people and I got to make sure everybody's kind of, in the same leveling. And maybe I took a certain group into the battle, so a lot of people aren't like the same level. So I got to get those guys in training and boost them up. I got to change their classes and all that stuff. There's a lot going on in this game, more than any Muso game ever, I think.
Because Fire Emblem games are very complex. So
yeah. And this like again, it feels as dense. The only thing that's different is it's not strategy. It's just Muso combat. So
yeah,
I'm really enjoying. I've always enjoyed these games. I think I've played and beaten like literally every single one except for like some of the One Piece and Dragon Quest like spinoffs or whatever. I don't care about that. But like all the main Stray ones and all
the first Fire Emblem Warriors one too.
Yeah, beat that one. That one's good.
Was that one anywhere near as intensive on the side?
No, that was just a Muso game. Yeah, it was just a Muso game, but instead of choosing Lu Bu, you were choosing Marth. I gotcha. This is very much, this and like Persona and Hyrule Warriors, the second one. We're in this new era of Muso games, like adopting the mechanics of the game properties that they're going after. So Persona had like a lot of dialogue and a lot of like stuff that you're doing in between, like had a lot of Persona elements, lighter, but like they were there. So I really enjoy that. I think that, you're just not playing another painted like game with a paint, coat on it. Like every game is mechanically different in many ways outside of the combat. So. And even the combat in this, like, it's so complex now. Like, there's so many like super modes to go into that, like, I forget half the buttons. Like, I'll have to like at the start of every session be like, okay, so how do you do your special, and how do you do your Muso special, and how do you do your Warriors Muso Ultra special? Like, there's just there's so many different like modes to jump into. In terms of like powering up your character and stuff like that.
I know in the demo I activated some kind of super special that's hard to build up a couple of times. Like when I didn't need to, I was like, "Crap, I hit the wrong button."
Yeah, oops.
Certainly have those moments.
So yeah, there's every button does something in this game, and it's kind of crazy how much.
Also, I accidentally skipped past the here's how to break their defense or their stance or whatever.
Yeah.
To kind of make them vulnerable for attack, and I didn't totally understand what that mechanic was, and then I just started like really struggling against a couple of the
you run down the bar over their head and they break and you hit X and you'll juggle them. Yeah.
Basically, in the end, just hit them a bunch. That's really all.
Keep on hitting them. And if one button doesn't feel like it's doing it, press the other button. So that's my advice for that one.
That should be the tutorial.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like a novel tutorial, like several screens. And
it
you're
is
like,
a
all
lot.
right, come
Yeah,
When you
on.
have
yeah,
the multi
well,
pages, it's like
and there's still like, if you're next to a hero, you can shift a button and press like team up, and then those two characters will bind themselves together, and then like those increase like the when you fight like that, it increases their social and stuff like that. So like again, all that stuff made it over. Like
nice.
just like in Fire Emblem, if you fight directly next to each other, like in the same panes right next to each other,
Yeah.
you know, like your social level goes up. So it's like they just lifted everything that they could and put it in this game, and
That's pretty cool.
really
Nice.
enjoying it, man. I think it's super cool. And even though the story doesn't make a lot of sense, I know that like these kids are trying to kill each other. You know what I mean? Like that was the whole story of Fire Emblem. We were buddies, and then one day we woke up and we weren't. You know, and now we're going to war. And I think that that is enough to keep on driving me through to the next event, especially just to see the next like character moment. So
Yeah.
I'm loving it, man. I think it's awesome.